Hey guys, Incap24 here, coming back with another play of the single back ace slot. We're going to be looking at the play called PA Scissors Flood. I like this play a lot because it's a one adjustment play where we can go ahead and really quick hike our opponent. A lot of times what happens in this formation is that we do a lot of motion, and it gives us the ability to set up a lot of our runs, a lot of our different plays, but it does give them the opportunity to set up their defense. This is one that you want to go to if someone's doing an extensive type of blitz setup that you want to go ahead and catch them in the middle of. You can go right to the line of scrimmage right away and run this play, and that's kind of what you want in a formation if you can have one of those plays in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at its PA Scissors Flood. Now I got cover 4 all queued up, so we're going to look at that first. And this is a great cover 4 beater. It's one of my favorites, especially in the run game type of formation where when we go double tight, people are going to go to cover 4 a lot. Just because of the run fits and whatnot. And this does a really good job of beating cover 4. This can be beat on the left hash, right hash, either or. So let's go ahead and show it to the left first. And the only adjustment to this play to beat all coverages is to put the B on a fade. Okay. And what you're going to see here is you're going to carry out the fake and then watch this Y on this angle. He's going to be able to get wide open against cover 4. Now I want you to watch this angle on this route here. You can see that he does this speed out, but it actually turns into more of a corner by, if you look at that red, as he makes that left turn, it actually goes up the field. He makes the turn right about, the 46, 47 yard line, and then it ends up being at the other 48. So basically he's gaining roughly about 6 yards of an angle up the field, and that's really what helps you out on this play. So against cover 4, that's typically where we're going to go. I'll go ahead and show it to you on the right hash mark now. You can see here against cover 4, you're going to be able to carry out the fake, get your blocking on there, and you can see here again, the Y is going to be wide open, and you're going to have the ability to get a little bit more yardage on that. So let's go ahead and look at cover 3, and what we're going to see here is that this play does a really good job of beating cover 3 as well. Depending on which hash mark you're on is depending on which player you should key. When it comes to cover 3, this Y receiver does a great job of beating the player over the top when he's on the right hash mark. Not so much on the left hash mark because we run out of real estate in that angle, and that basically when you're in a cloud flat or a curl flat, you're more in that throwing lane than we want him to be. And because they back up, we're going to utilize the RB receiver as our main threat on the left hash. When we're on the right hash, that changes, and we're going to go after the Y receiver. I'm going to show that here in a second. So we're going to carry out the fake, and then you're going to see here that as the guy backs up, we want to kind of throw it to him and get ourselves about 5, 6 to 8 yards is typically what we're going to get, depending on the animation, to be honest with you. The better you throw and the way you can get the guy to go up the field is going to be better. You can see here, if I throw it a little bit earlier, I'm going to have myself a little bit more opportunity to get some more yards. And you're really just dinking and dunking at that point. You're reading that linebacker and saying, you know what? On the left hash mark, if I see that I'm in a cover 3, I go ahead and I want this play. I'm not going to go to the Y. I'm going to go to the RB. I'm going to get up the field, and I'm going to live another down and get some, 5 to 6 yards. Real easy dink and dunk when you're looking for short yardage as well. It's just a nice little option. Now, but you're on the right hash mark, and you call this play, and you're going to be able to get that, put that B on the fade, and you're going to see here that it opens up our options to this Y receiver. Because as he goes up the field, you're going to have that angle to throw it much better. You're pass leading it up to about the 10:30, 11 o'clock position towards the sidelines. And as you can see, as that red route goes from the right hash, it actually goes from the 45 all the way to almost the 46, 45 of the opposite end. So you're gaining about 9 yards worth of an angle when it could go from the right-hand side. That's going to be all the difference when it comes against cover 3. So let's go ahead and look at cover 2. And cover 2 gives us a really nice opportunity to do a one-play touchdown to the X receiver once we put this B on a fade. And what really nice about this is most people, once we run the ball a lot in this formation, will go ahead and have to worry about this play action because it's something that, as a user middle linebacker, it at least is going to make you freeze for a second, or at least give you a little bit of a pause to make sure that you're not sprinting out to go cover the middle of the field. This X route will get open against pretty much any cover 2 as long as somebody doesn't put somebody in a deep blue in the middle or cover it themselves. And the way this play design is, it really gives a kind of a sneaky cover 2 beater because though all players on the left hand side are going to go up the field at first, and then when the Y cuts to the left, you really haven't seen the X show his cards yet with his post route. So typically people are going to get a little lazy and not going to cover it down the field with that middle linebacker. And once they realize that it's going to be too late, then you're going to have that ability to have that one play score. If they do cover it, then you're going to have this dump off pass to this RB receiver, really just to live another down. You're looking about 3 yards. Once he's on the sidelines, he kind of just turns it up the field. So it's kind of look like the bomb first. And what you're going to see here, we're going to carry out our play action. I kind of like to drift a little to the left. And then we're going to kind of throw this ball over the top for the one in play score right there. You're going to be able to split the safeties. The strong safety never makes an effort to get over quick enough if you time it right. You're going to have that nice, easy one play score. Now, like I said before, say they went ahead, I'm going to simulate this A receiver going down the field on the X, right? Say he's going this way, and that's how we're going to look at this. Now, what would happen in this situation would be that guy's going to go down the field. He's covering him. Okay, we don't have that guy. Now we're just going to dump it off to this player over here, and we're going to get ourselves a nice couple yards. That's typically what I'm doing. I know that I have an outlet. That outlet's going to be that running back, but typically that's not the guy that I really want to key on first because, especially from the left hash mark, because I really want to go for the one-play bomb. So let's go ahead and take a look at it on the right hash mark now. When you see on the right hash mark, you're going to see that it's going to be very similar. And we're going to go ahead and carry out our fake. And we're going to kind of go to the left a little bit. And now you're still going to be able to throw that one play touchdown. And it's going to be, you know, a nice play to be able to do. Now, typically when the ball's on the right hash mark, I feel like they will cover the middle a little bit more. You can see that our splits are a lot bigger between our X, our B, and our Y. That's just the way Madden is this year, where if you're on one hash mark, they widen out. If you're on the other, they kind of close up. There are a lot of different funny things with Madden this year when it comes to motions and to splits. So you really got to know, you got to play the hash mark game. So when you're in the right hash mark, you're definitely going to be able to hit this RB a little bit more often right there and get more yards off of it. So if you're really looking for someone's doing a cover 2 and you really want to go for the bomb, but also have a little bit of option of getting a little bit more yardage, the right hash mark's for you, okay? I just want to make sure you see that. Go ahead, let the player go through here. Now we're going to go for the bomb, and we're going to be able to get our one play touchdown as long as we don't get that type of animation, and that's how we hit cover 2. So now let's go ahead and look at man coverage. And typically with man coverage, my number one throw is going to be this Y receiver. He does a really good job of getting separation. Tololo is not a great route runner compared to the Seahawks linebackers and their ability to do man coverage. So it's not a favorable matchup for us, but it is something that with this route, we can definitely get open, and it's definitely our number one threat. And typically after that, I'm really just dumping it off to the RB receiver if the user goes ahead and jumps the Y receiver. That's really the only way that they're going to stop this on man coverage. So if you watch it here, what you're going to see is this Y goes ahead, does a really good job of getting that separation and getting it down the field. It's just kind of one of those really tough routes to stay with, even if it is a lesser player for you. And obviously, if you're on the right hash mark, you're going to have a little bit more options when it comes to allowing the RB to outrun his player. But typically speaking, we're really still only looking at this wide receiver. You can see how the longer it goes, the more separation he's going to get. And that's Toilolo versus Wagner, which is definitely in their favor. And you can see how that works out for you. So either hash mark, the Y is really a nice man-beating play that you can go to, if someone is spamming man on you, or just in general, if you get man when you're looking for a different coverage, that's going to be your outlet pass on each one. I want to go ahead and touch upon one other thing in cover 4. And it's a cover 4 bomb that I go to on the same setup when your user player is typically the safety and they bite on the play action. And what I mean by that is this safety right here, Earl Thomas, the free safety. A lot of times if we're doing a run to the left-hand side on this fake, that player will come down here and try to stop it. If they make any false moves or kind of get a little bit closer to it, typically we're going to be able to hit a cover 4 bomb over the top. And I do like to make sure that I mention that to you in case somebody is running cover 4, they're taking that safety down, that you will look for that and maybe try to expose that. So I'm going to simulate that by going ahead and taking that one player and put him on a quarterback spy. Okay, just kind of make sure that he's a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. He's going towards the running back and kind of getting bit a little bit. So it's the same exact setup. You're going to see here, and what you're going to do here is you're going to go carry out the fake. He's coming out the run, and now you're going to see that you're going to have that ability to kind of bomb this player over the top for the nice easy one-play score. So the reason why I mention that is because it does happen often. Cover 4 is a very popular run D. This is a very safe defense, so a lot of people don't feel like they're going to get caught in that. So if somebody just goes ahead and just takes a little bit of a in here like that, they've got to go all the way back to go ahead and cover that, right? So typically if I see that, if they do maybe like a show blitz and they're getting close here and they're coming in to stop that run fit, right? It's definitely a nice opportunity to kind of go over the top to that player. So it's kind of one of those deals that, I'm going to go ahead and simulate it again, that maybe we're man coveraging that running back this time, right? It's the same difference. I just want to make sure I show it to you again. The guy kind of stays. I kind of let him user it, but that's the bomb right there. It's very, very tough for them to recover if they go ahead and are using that player. So wanted to give you that tidbit just in case that you play a player that does use that safety and kind of wants to do some havoc on wrecking any type of run plays. And you could definitely go to that and kind of go for a one-play score against cover 4.